Unusual Opening stream here on lichess and Twitch. Substitute Macro Panda is here with me. Hey guys, thank you for the opportunity to let me fill in for my cousin over in Hungary. He's not here right now. I'm Macro Panda. This is my brother Micro Panda. What is this? Hello. Alright guys, seriously. Enough pandas. We're gonna play some unusual openings here. Weird Wednesday. The idea is 5+3 through 7+3. We're taking challenges from subscribers first, and then anyone else with like 50 or more rated games, 50 to 100 rated games would be preferred. The non-subscriber challenges are welcome after subscribers. We're gonna be playing 5+3 through 7+3. Welcome, Merle Dixon. Good to see you. Asterbait. I think just you two guys are here thus far. We are expecting more guests as the afternoon goes on. So I'm going to take the first challenge here from Asterbait. He's challenged me 7+3. Anything 5+3, 5+5, 6+3, 6+4, 6+5, and 7+3. That's the longest time control we play. Merle, thank you for the donation. Merle usurps. He usurps Dim 3337 as the leading bit donator for the week. Thank you so much, Merle. I'm glad you could make it to my American-based stream. We're going to be mixing up the times a little bit. Let me check before we start the game with Asterbait. Let me just check my schedule to confirm the time for tomorrow night subscriber stream. Just to make sure, I'm going to announce this a couple times during the course of the stream, but I want to make sure that we've got a set time for tomorrow. Yeah, so it's looking like 4:30. As I did my other stream, I decided on trying to do basically 4:30 afternoon streams for the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday set. So we're going to have to play around with the times a little bit here and there due to responsibilities that I have, but try to keep the streams on a regular time basis. Dim, what's up? Hello. Thank you, as well as Merle Dixon, for supporting the stream this week. Thank you guys for subscribing. Let's get started here with Asterbait. I'm going to open with E4. Been kind of working on Asterbait's openings. His Sicilian defense, I felt, was the thing that needed the most work. So we're going to get started here. Thanks again, Merle Dixon. Simul this week. I'm sorry I had to cancel the Simul last week. I had serious responsibility. I had to go pick my mom up at the hospital and bring her home. So Sunday was no good. All right, Asterbait. I'm sorry for the late delayed start there, kind of slow rolling you here. I'm sorry. Wanted to make some announcements before we got the game underway. Asterbait, see if he's here or not. He was here, but I took a long time to make my first move, so he's getting revenge. Unusual openings theme today, so we're going to try to play something that I wouldn't normally do without getting unsound. The pandas, you know, they like strange stuff. These pandas, you know, they're not you know, that tuned in, but they also like H4. Hello. I can be like a smiley face. Alright. Enough silliness, guys. I like to have some fun here on the stream. Keep it G-rated. Let's play the straight up Grand Prix attack. I never do this. I always make fun of the Grand Prix attack. I actually like the Grand Prix attack reversed. As a defense against the English, I feel like it's even better for some reason. I mean, it feels like with white you ought to try to really take advantage of the Sicilian by opening the game, because black's king's in the center of the board and his king side's not developed. The black king never really knows where it's going to be safe in the Sicilian defense. Never silliness. The pandas are the official mascots. So these guys are filling in. They're panda scrubs. But we love them anyway. We're making Asterbait face the old school Grand Prix attack here with F4. There's a couple ways for, several ways for black to handle this, obviously. Got another challenge now from Merlin the Wizard. Merlin the Wizard, new to the stream. I am going to take subscriber challenges if I have them first. If I don't have any subscriber challenges, I'll take whoever has, you know, 50, 100 games, some sort of established account. Merlin the Wizard from Belgium. Man, that rating level, I had a student from Belgium not that long ago, last year. Alright, so E6. That's a solid choice from Acerbate. I forgot that he does that. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do here. E6 is a very solid choice, I think, particularly against f4. I would say that's good. Alright, we'll play knight f3 and see what's up. Someone said that's definitely weird. You mean my f4 is weird? Not so much. We get this from Mule Skinner, Morales. We have a couple huge devotees of the Grand Prix attack against the Sicilian here on my stream. Regulars, that is. Guys, like my coffee mug? Las Vegas. This is for you, Acerbate. Who are we playing today? Welcome to Las Vegas. Acerbate is in sunny Las Vegas. Alright. Knight f3. I've given up the online poker. We spent a lot of years doing that. But chess is my first love. Alright. Knight f3. Let's hurry it up here, Acerbate. You're usually quite quick. I'm surprised that he's not, you know, prepared for this, because I mean, along with like the Smith-Morra and let's say bishop c4 on move 2, this weird setup, it seems like f4, the Grand Prix attack, would be very popular. Most often, I guess, people will play knight c3 first. It's like a refined move order. Now, a very provocative move, knight f6, allowing me to play e5 if I want to. Well, okay. No, I'm not convinced that e5 is necessarily the move, let's say. It does overextend me a little bit. Maybe we can transpose Acerbated to a French classical variation. Why not? Make Acerbate play the French classical. Do you think the Grand Prix is same effective against Sicilian? Same as the common openings? I don't like it as much. I mean, I think the main line of the open Sicilian and probably the c3 Sicilian, those two are White's best. And the only way that White can really get an advantage of some sort, to hope to get a serious advantage, the open Sicilian and maybe like the c3 Sicilian. The Rasalimo, like bishop e5, is also good. So now we play e5, and I mean, a6 is an extremely slow move for Acerbate here. I mean, the thing is that the Grand Prix attack, maybe not so much nowadays, but for a very long time, was like one of White's most popular club-level systems against the Sicilian. And I would think, you know, most people expect to see that fairly often. It's almost like a Nimzovich Sicilian. That pawn on d5, you know, could potentially be weak. Now I can try to grab a pawn. It's a little bit greedy. dc, bishop c5, queen d5. It's a lot greedy. I mean, it's a lot greedy, actually. If I take, he takes. I take on d5, and he has queen b6, threatening bishop f2 check, disrupting my position. Probably not the end of the world, but let's just play positional chess, okay? Black is probably fine after this. I had to make a decision. I wasn't crazy about d takes c5, queen takes d5, or sorry, dc5, bishop c5, queen d5, queen b6. Probably that's good for me somehow, but I'm also got my queen out in an exposed position. Black has bishop f2 check, some disruptive stuff. So I feel like Black's okay here, though. You know, he's probably okay here. The a6 move, it's a little bit luxurious, but it's probably not that bad. Hold on. Oh, man, I got a phone call now. Really? just moved. So I like this call a lot. Like, I got a call from the state police a couple days ago looking for donations to the state police fund. And now I got Eddie calling from the police looking for donations. But he didn't specify like what police he was looking for donations for. It's a little strange. And I was like, I'm busy right now, and there's sort of silence on the other end of the line. I don't know, man. You can't trust anybody. I mean, maybe they're just like scammers pretending to collect money for the police. Who the heck knows? Okay, good move, Acerbate d6. I like that. I probably would have played that first rather than bishop e7. Never ever give out your financial information on the telephone, guys. I don't know. In Europe, it doesn't seem like we have this problem as much with the constant calls. I mean, it's probably getting more prevalent. Our center is a little bit overextended here. I mean, I'm a little concerned about bishop g4. Maybe we need like preemptive defense. Can I do this? Got a strong center, but it's hard to play with space advantage. It takes a lot of care. I can't believe I have to answer like telemarketing calls while I'm streaming. I'm just concerned that it was like an important call. I have to keep my eyes open for important calls too. So it's. I wonder if the state police called the local police and said, "Hey, this guy pledged to donate like $25. You should go get him." All right, all the police like hounding us for donations. F takes e5. Doesn't the government pay the police? Quick, Acerbate, remove one of his bishops from the board. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing I was afraid of. Acerbate's doing a great job in this game. That's why I preempted bishop e3. I wanted this pawn to be secured in advance in case anything bad came down. Let's castle. There's also that bishop h4 check popping into some lines. So he's got queen b6. I can defend with something along the lines of queen d2 there? Maybe not. Queen b6 kind of greedy, though. I mean, is your intention to take this pawn on b2? He really should probably just castle kingside. I'm not typically playing this kind of position. I don't play the Grand Prix attack. I don't like overextension. I normally play a more hyper-modern game, although I'm capable of playing taking space. The white side of the King's Indian, I have a lot of experience, for example. Classical King's Indians, though I'm not playing that much like lately. Now, we can induce some weakness in his king side, but is it really worth it? So I guess prophylaxis, guys. What would Michael Adams do? This feels like an e4, e5 opening, actually. It looks like I played the Vienna game or something. I wouldn't have guessed this as a Sicilian if you showed me this position. Acerbate doing really well, I think, so far. There's this idea coming through over there. It actually crosses my plans, because I was thinking Vienna game again, you know, queen e1, queen g3, but this stupid knight b4 is even more annoying now. So what do we do? Rook c1. Playing both sides of the board here. What's up, guys? Welcome to my stream. The Sniper Chess, Acerbate Dim, Blitz King 12, Merle Dixon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Time will be we'll be switching around. Do we have a notification on lichess, by the way, guys? Do we have the stream up there? Announced on lichess, because I can't see from the screen. Looks like Acerbate playing really well positionally in this game. Very mature, very sophisticated and correct handling of the position thus far by Acerbate. I'm impressed, man. It was there earlier. Need to preserve this. I'm expecting queen takes c8 there. I think it's a little weird to abandon the pin Acerbate. Plus, you might even get some action on the c-file. Action from the back section. Little Beastie Boys for the morning. But we got to get the viewers up. I know that it's early, but there's no excuse for Europeans not to be watching. It's 6 o'clock in the evening for Europeans. Just that nobody knows I'm streaming. We got to get a regular set schedule going on. It's basically going to be something like this. 12 or 1:30ish, between 12 and 2 in the midday. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and then 4:30ish on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Because we only have 20 viewers, that's not good. We need to get some more viewers kicking out. All right, we're coming with the threats now. Knight on a6, not looking good. Inducement of weaknesses. Drop mate in 1. Alright, Acerbate, always check the mate in 1. You know, he's not lost here, but he did lose the grip. I think when he played bishop takes c8, he started to go the wrong way on this position. So queen takes c8, maintaining the pin there with some pressure along the c-file. I would say that black is only a tiny bit worse. Yeah, the engine's putting in about 0.4. Not bad. Alright, let's turn off this crazy analysis. Good opening. Good opening. Let's see who we got for subscribers here. Acerbate, Merle Dixon. Cash Maui's donated to the stream to support the stream yesterday. Thank you, Cash Maui, 100 bits. But let's see, we've got no subscribers in the 3 challenges, so we'll take the next guy in line, which is Merlin the Wizard. Merlin the Wizard is playing d4. I'm primarily playing Nimzo, but I've got to play something different because this is Weird Wednesday. I opened with the Grand Prix attack now. I should have played like c5 on move 1, honestly. Alright. Well, let's go. Let's go with the delayed Polish. Stopping c4. Nothing wrong with playing the Polish on move 1. I would turn it into a St. George defense, though. Like e4, a6, d4, b5. In other words, d4, b5, e4, a6. Going to reveal my secrets here. But this is a standard position. I mean, the Fianchetto setup is pretty good for white. I would say one of white's best options. This is a standard Polish defense line. He knows what he's doing. I mean, c3. c3, probably like the #1 continuation there for white. And now I'm on my own. Not up to date on my Polish defense, really. Not being a St. George. This is a proper Polish. Don't know what the very best move is. Queen b6. Attempt to play incisively. There is a little bit of a lag in black's kingside development in these kind of lines. I gotta remember this is 5 + 3, 2. Fairly fast time control. Acerbate was in so much trouble. Only because you didn't play queen takes c8. There was no reason for you to unpin me with bishop g4 takes c8. When you can take with the queen on c8, it actually had relevance along the c-file. Okay, on knight d2. So capturing on d4 is, I think, a reasonable option here. I'm not sure it's best. But what is best? If I play like knight c6, he can play e3. Okay, I don't mind this. Normally I say keep the tension, but here his knight is not on a great square. It cannot go to its best square on c3. Trying to put pressure on his position, make him play e3. If he plays e3, he can't play e4. Which, I mean, e4 is a much more aggressive deployment. So, one of these days, Acerbate is going to break the streak. I'm waiting for you to beat me, Astrobate. It's got to happen, man. You're playing well. You played the opening well there. Let's get everybody in the stream. We need more viewers. I'm going to be streaming 6 days a week, guys. Knight b3, not a great square, but he doesn't really have a choice right now. That might well be better than playing, let's say, playing e3. I don't like this outpost support point, some might call it. I do not want to see, excuse me, a knight coming to c5. But Merlin the Wizard playing competently. He's 2000 classical. Got a fairly new account going on there. I wouldn't want him to have any less games. I don't want to play people who have less than 100 games. Cash Maui, again, thank you for supporting the stream. Now he's trying to set up the old e4. So I don't really think I'm in the mood to just allow that without a fight, you know. And knight b4, a3 doesn't look good. If you want to do something crazy, there's a crazy variation: knight b4, a3, knight bd5, e4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4, knight c3, bc, bishop takes e4, with pawn and rook for 2 minor pieces. It's actually playable. It looks very artificial to me. How about like a5 here? Yeah, let's go. Just go. Just go, guys. That's one way to stop e4. At least attempt to stop e4. Counterattack rather than, you know, direct prevention. I was looking at knight a5. The problem with knight a5, you know, it's not really constructive, what I would call a constructive move. We always have a problem with this configuration. We have a knight on c6. That's why in the Najdorf Sicilian, my knight would prefer to be on d7 in some sense, not to interfere with the bishop on b7 like in the Hedgehog or Najdorf Sicilian. But a5, looking at e4, a4, and his knight has to drop back, then I just win the pawn on d4, which would dismantle his whole center. Now he has various options here. e3, e4, a4, bishop e3, probably not really the best. This looks to me like the best under the circumstances. Not without some drawbacks, perhaps, but not a lot of time to waste here. e4 I would say is a sort of threat. No longer blocking our bishop on b7. Position seems relatively level, objectively. Maybe I can play like bishop here and kick him back with a4. Bishop d2, bishop c6, for example. Knight takes a5. That's a nasty trick. Now, bishop g5 is a standard idea, but it doesn't really do me any harm, I guess. It's another way of fighting for the e4 square. Not sure. Really sure if this is so good for me. But let's just go with the flow. Knight back to d2 now, threatening knight c4 could be annoying. And he's also got should really castle, but I'm going to have tactical problems. And he's got e4, among other things. That's risky, though, because of knight d3. So knight c4, I just was going to play queen back somewhere. Queen b8, say. No problem. Both sides are in it to win it. I don't know who's better here. It feels like black's a tiny bit more active. e4, knight d3 is the question. You know, can he allow that when I play and I just take his b pawn? Probably not. I mean, he's got some in-between moves with knight to c4 there. So I was saying queen b8, it's not my only move. There is bishop takes f6, which bothers me a bit. Queen d8 would also protect something. But on the other hand, there's drawbacks here. What's he doing? He's just trying to play like e4, I guess. Okay. Shouldn't really be a big deal for me. I think I'm fine here if we just go back. We got the bishop pair. He's got a little space in the center, but it's a game. D5's covered. He has tricks? No. No tricks. Juicebox, good to see you. I hope everything's okay. I had a really bad week. My mom went in the hospital. But I since got her out. Alright, now D5. What are we doing? Now queen b8? Do I want to go there? Queen b8, queen b8, queen b8. There are some tactical issues. So d5, huh? Just securing the knight permanently. I really didn't think it was going to take. Now I have to decide which way. Sprung my mom. Yeah. We got some space, but he's hanging really tough. We got the structure. He's got a nice Solani, so that's to my benefit. And this guy is not a weak player. Very competent. Very slight positional disadvantage for white now. The slightly worse structure. What's he trying to do here? Just trade pieces? Not really sure. Why was my knight on d5 anyway? There was some reason it was there, right? My king side's pretty safe. My pieces are good. I'm ready to play rook d8. Gotta keep my a4 pawn. Look at that KG move he played. Wow, dude. What a move. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? $18.22. Wait a minute. I have bishop d6 here. You kidding me? I guess I should have taken the pawn on d4. So interested in trading pieces. Alright. Technical endings got to be a win. Tough fighter. King's just really strong. What a defense. Alright, tough game. Very, very tough game. Okay, let's move on. We got challenges from subscribers, hopefully. Good to see you again, Juicebox. Thank you for coming back. So, let's see. Never sure I'll ever try reliving that again. What are you talking about, Juicebox? I missed your chat there. Okay. He said, whoa. I guess Cambodian people don't like beards, so my Khmer friend showed up. Uh-oh. And with a dull razor and shaved my neck and beard. Not sure I'll ever try reliving that again. Yeah, you like dull razors. Twitch is not cool. I didn't receive a notification. Stream started 30 minutes ago. So ABD is up next. What do we got? Haberbomb. Haberbomb, are you still a subscriber? Takeback is definitely a subscriber. I'm going to play Haberbomb, assuming he's still a subscriber. Then we've got Takeback and any subscribers first. Haberbomb, I've got to play Unusual Openings. Let me know if you're still a sub to the stream here. If not, you got a free game. Please, guys, support the stream. You're not a subscriber currently. You got a free game now. It's alright, man. You've supported the stream in the past. Thank you for that. I'm going to kick you out. No. Let's just play. Unusual Openings. Yeah, let's try the Trompowski, which I don't normally play. As far as subscribers go, it looks like Takeback. The other guys are not currently subscribers, as far as I know. Planning on subscribing again soon. Thank you. Alright, so 94. I think this move is overrated. I used to play this as well, but I feel like it's like you're trying too hard to punish the Trompowski. My personal recommendation is D5 instead of 94, and I also think that the C5 is a very good variation as well, if you prefer the Benoni type of thing. But you do have something positive going for you in that I don't know the theory too well in this variation. think I had this position with black against Aaron Summerscale, English Grandmaster, and I lost. Dim, thank you for the donation. Dim takes the lead with 450 bits. Minor bit battle going on here. So I hope you're doing well there, Juicebox. I know from experience, traveling can be tricky. Living in a foreign country for 14 years, had some weird stuff happen to me. Okay, D5. G6, that move. I don't know. I think this just transposes to like a tempo up. A sort of tempo up. Yeah, I mean, my bishop's on f4, though. It's not exactly the greatest square in the world. A tempo up. Same-ish King's Indian is what I'm trying to spit out here. Bishop f4 for free. It's not the ideal square, but it's not a bad square, because when he plays d6 and he tries to play e6, that cuts across and actually stops e6 in some positions. So it's not such a bad square for the same-ish King's Indian player for white. Netherlander. Turzo referred to you as the American who lives here. Turzo Attila. That's a good way to put it. Crazy stuff. Just say, in only a few days I haven't seen some really... I hope it's not as bad as Venezuela. Alright, bishop takes e5. Knight e4 is like a weird trap. He's trying to do crazy... Speaking of crazy stuff, Haberbaum, what are you doing? Bishop takes e5, knight e4, queen f4. I'm not believing this. I don't believe you. You're lying to me. An invented pawn sacrifice. I'm not believing this. I could play queen f4. I mean, I could play knight takes e4 and be up 2 pawns as well. Knight e4, knight takes e4, bishop takes e5, knight takes c5, queen h4 check. That may not be so good for me. Let's not lose our dark square bishop. So let's just play knight e4. Wow, this could get really demented, actually. Just a blunder, is it? Are you sure? Knight e4, knight e4, knight e4, queen f4, bishop takes e5, queen takes e5, rook e8, queen f4, knight takes c3, b takes c3. Black has a little bit of compensation, my friend. I don't think... I lost a very similar theme game like yesterday in my viewer tournament. This guy, this mysterious guy who was really high rated in Rapid, got some tactics going on against me in a similar motif. He actually missed the best move yesterday. He played like the second best move and crushed me. Yeah, no, I mean, I was in Venezuela when it was like kind of stable back in 1999 and just before Chavez took control. And even then it was like frightening, you know. They stole all my stuff from my bags. What else? There was other weird stuff. You know, they just rob you before you even get out of the airport. Okay, knight e4. Let's see. You found the move. Oh, here we go. This is my original plan. It might be better just to play knight takes e4, probably. In fact, I'd almost bet on it that the computer would prefer that I played knight takes e4 there. Now here we are in weirdo land. Queen h4 g3 is okay. Rook e8 is his best move, probably. Of course, I can always sack my queen. But I don't think that's called for. Well, this was what I analyzed, and I'm going to trust my analysis. Buddhist country, but it's very unique and very off-the-wall culture. Well, I mean, you know, this is 2018. It must be strange. All this old traditions and technology and new things mixed in. Okay, so Haberbaum just goes the simple pawn down, but it's a double pawn kind of thing. Doesn't look so bad for black. I was headed home anyway to d2. Where's the pandas? We have temporary panda scrubs. Vegan flat earther is watching. Hey, who called me a scrub? Alright. Hey guys, I'm Panda's cousin. My voice is just a little bit different. I'm a little bit more refined. I have a kind of American accent. But this is my other brother. Hello. Hello. So those guys are going to be filling in for the Panda while he's away in Hungary. I do have the h4, h5, the subtle Tigo attack. Speaking of subtle Tigo, some 12-year-old became a GM. This is from Two Shark. Yeah, I heard something about this. I don't know where or when. I'm getting foggy-headed. But, yeah, I saw something about that somewhere. So h4, h5, very subtle. There are a lot of expats there. I guess like Thailand, you know, is a much more common, but, you know, common destination in Southeast Asia, Juicebox. But I would imagine it's similar. You get a lot of expats. It's a lot cheaper than living in the United States. I mean, take it from me. Living outside the United States is what I do. You know, the main reason people ask me, why do you live in Hungary? Because I'm not a millionaire. Living in the United States is extremely expensive, number one. I think our attack's pretty strong. I mean, black has no pieces to defend his kingside. We have the ready-made Panda H-file attack. Though it's not going to win in and of itself. I can't just move my queen, you know, and drop c3 with check. But it certainly doesn't help. It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to get a leg up. In fact, like, Haberbaum almost committing suicide with this move. Well, d6 is tempting. But we need a little more. We need a little more something here. Pawn takes pawn. A little more energy in the attack. How about d6? I mean, am I just mating him after d6? I don't see how he defends. I mean, his idea was presumably to defend laterally, acerbate style, like rook a7. You should have done the acerbate. So instead of queen back, you could have done d6, and then classic acerbate rook a7, defending laterally. It's a standard Benoni maneuver. It would have been much better. In fact, your queen should probably drop back all the way to d8, perhaps. Communism. Thailand doesn't have as many problems in landmines, I bet, man. I bet. You don't hear about people going to Cambodia every day. He's actually got no way to protect h7 in this position. Normally I don't get this kind of pleasurable direct attack going on. He's in trouble because he loses a rook to queen d5 check as well. My queen could get kind of bottled up there, pseudo-trapped. I'd rather end the game with a direct attack. I don't think I can, though. Black has a defense that actually works here. Queen f6 is the issue. So, silence from the international master. It's all a ploy. I've overextended myself. Oh, wait. I'm winning a rook. Oh man, that's terrible. Queen h6, queen f6, queen h7 check, king f8, queen h8 check. Gosh. Thank you, d6 pawn. Thank you, Mr. d6 pawn, for being there. Alright, we just barely found it. Guys, again, thank you for the support. New subscribers, Dim and Merle Dixon, donating bits this week. You checked my yesterday's game with Stockfish. You felt like your opponent was either a professional cheater or a GM. That 2476 rated guy. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm not really sure. Too Shark. I haven't. I don't. I had a look. I mean, both sides made some mistakes. He definitely didn't play the best moves. Like, he could have annihilated me with the move I saw, knight takes e4. Instead, he chose like the second best continuation, knight takes d5. I mean, that was kind of like a key moment. I felt like I played subpar. So I don't. I'm not gonna make any accusations. I don't know why the guy played one game and then dropped out though. That was kind of lame. Because I welcome more challenges. ABD, I'd love to play you, but I've got to play the subscribers first. I've got to play Take Back and Tushard. Then I'll take you next. I'm not just choosing the challenges at random. I play the subscribers first. Then whoever is there, that's called professional. He was a professional bounty hunter. How to become a subscriber? I mean, at the top on Twitch, you should be able to click on subscribe. Can somebody tell Netherlander how to subscribe while I'm playing this game? A Twitch subscriber, exactly. We're talking about Twitch. Yeah, we're talking about Twitch subscribers. Okay, D4. If you have Amazon Prime, I don't know if you have that in the Netherlands, but I don't think we have it in Hungary. I spend most of my time in Hungary. I'm back in the United States now. We were playing unusual openings. Let's play E3. For me, unusual openings can be normal openings to you. This one is for Mr. Coffee, I guess. We're playing the Kali system. Tribute to Mr. Coffee, who loves E3, the Kali system. Nils, good to see you. Guys, we're streaming normally here from 12 o'clock today. 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on what crazy stuff happens in the background. Okay, G6 is a good move. G6 is a good move. I'm not in the mood for a stonewall against G6, so I think we have to play C4 and go for it. The Kali doesn't do a whole lot for me against the King's Indian formation. Now we can turn into like a reverse. What is this, actually? Almost like a Grunfeld. It's E3 against the Grunfeld, but my bishop's on D3. But I do play E3 against the Grunfeld. I should be able to adapt to this. Okay, so tomorrow is subscriber stream. That means I do game analysis with subscribers. I also, so tomorrow's game analysis subscriber stream, 4:30 p.m. EDT. 4:30 p.m. EDT, so that's 10:30 in the evening for Europeans. We lost tempo there, in a sense, moving our bishop twice. You have Amazon Prime, but that costs like $1.8 per month and $12.5 per year. Man, that's a bargain. 1.8 per month. That's a very, very... I mean, I understand it's India and you have a different economy there. Just hearing that sounds... We don't have it in... It's funny, we don't have it in Hungary. I don't think you... Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think you can get Amazon Prime in Hungary. All my stuff doesn't work. Like, I have Amazon Prime and I can't even, like, access the movies. It's our wonderful Hungarian government. Bishop takes C4. Yeah, he lives in India where the cost of living is much lower than the average, but also, salaries are much lower. Bishop takes C4. 2:30 a.m. in India. You want to show me your positional brilliancy? Okay. It is welcome. So this is actually a hybrid. It looks like a Queen's Gambit accepted with G6. Justified by the fact that I've had to spend 2 tempi on my bishop. It can also be... well, it almost seems like a Schlechter Slav, but he hasn't played C6. So that's a normal move. Looks like B6. Trying to play for C5. I think C5 directly take back is fine. Like, you don't need to prep it with that. You could just play C5. I'm not taking that pawn. Now he has the proverbial queen problem. You've heard about this in the proverbs, chess proverbs. Nils beat you yesterday in Bullet? Oh no. C5 maybe theory. Yeah, it's a very logical move. I would certainly be surprised if it's not. Alright, we're playing A4 here. And it feels like the queen problem is being dealt with. So, kids, we're going for it. What else can we do but go for it here? Centers were made to be advanced. Juicebox Twister, what? It's only $5 a month there? For your phone to make unlimited international calls and mobile data. What? See, we're just getting ripped off, you know? Like, in America, everything is like a rip-off. It's ridiculous. Pharmacies. Okay, E6. E5 is fine. Just blast him. Space is the final frontier. He's got the bad queen. No space. Very active position for white. What's he gonna do? Too sharp. I was number 1 for most part, but finished second. Oh, this is another arena. Okay. Cell phone service in Israel is also very affordable. We're ripped off pretty much with everything else. Yeah, I would think Israel is a fairly wealthy country, and therefore you would be ripped off just like us here by everyone in the United States. I mean, we get ripped off for everything. Okay, bishop takes d5. I mean, things like medical, pharmaceutical things are dependent on the social system, I guess, more than economics. But my mom had to get like probiotics to take with her antibiotics, and it was like $50 for like a box of yogurt pills, basically. I mean, that's really criminal, you know. I mean, seriously. Yogurt pills cost $50 a box. Alright, e takes d5. What are we going to do here? Bishop g5, bishop f4, bishop e3. This pawn is weak. I know, because I know the difference in prices between Hungary and the United States for things like drugs, pharmaceuticals, prescriptions. You know that somebody's just stealing all the money. Where do I go here? Bishop e3, bishop f4, bishop g5. It's a strange square for the bishop. It looks inactive, but okay, we're going to reposition, I think. We're going to reposition. He's going to reposition. We can both play that game. I wouldn't mind trading. B for B. Plus we got the C file. Good defense by takeback, though. He's a competent, very competent player. Maybe we wait. We play it now. Got a protected pass pawn, but it's not, because that's there. It's not really a protected pass pawn. It's a strong pawn. You've got monopolies. Monopoly problems. Bishop h6. Corruption. Well, that's more like Hungary. Okay, bishop h6. So guys, tomorrow 4:30. I'm sorry it's kind of late for the people in India and Europe, especially the people in India. You guys can stay up late. My American friends have been up all sorts of evenings to watch the stream, so Too Shark, you'll have to do the same. It's your turn. What are we doing? Man, that's an annoying move, sir. Tempted to play knight g5, knock out the blockader. The Red Sox won yesterday. Is that awesome or what? Man, they beat the Houston Astros 8-2. So sorry. Knight g5, knight takes g5, queen takes g5, queen takes a4. My rook is hanging on d1 if I try to snap a pawn there. So, oh, this is so frustrating. I don't know what to do. Okay, he can't play c5 with his d5 pawn in bad shape. The frontal pressure here. But take-back's... he's really hanging in. Really hanging in here. h4, anybody? That's h6, h5. Guess we'll just keep it simple. Eliminate blockader. We have stuff. I mean, we have rook lifts all over the place. So we can combine threats along the c file with that strong pawn on e5 and possible kingside threats. I feel like he has, in a sense, like principle of two weaknesses sort of thing. You know, his king is weak and he's got this issue, but he plays a patient move there, not trading on my terms, let's say. Wow, he just took with the pawn. That's a strong, probably a very strong decision. Darn. Underestimated this. Alright, we might have something. Let's see. We got the lift. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is not what I was really looking for. A lot of simplification. Black's still very solid. I think white only has a small advantage. Another mostly American anomaly, yeah. I can't help it. That was the sport that I was most brought up with. Unique American sport. I have a friend who's Hungarian who plays baseball. They have like a league. He's in a baseball league in Hungary. It's very rare. Alright, let's see. I feel like I just failed. We're not even better now. He actually has a protected passed pawn. I've got a back rank problem. Very good middle game by Take Back. The opening wasn't good, but he survived and he's hanging tough. If I didn't have the stupid back rank problem, I would be okay here. So I secure my pawn on e5, and I activate my king. Very important in any kind of queen endgame that you play as actively as humanly possible with the king. Queen and pawn endgames. Take Back has got a dilemma. If he pushes his pawn, it's not protected anymore. So he has to kind of judge that. What to do. This is a really tense game. Space is the final frontier. He's got no checks. Is it enough? My king is wide open to all sorts of assaulting checks and stuff like that. That's just a ridiculous mate. It'd be like my machine-like opponent yesterday. Got to take things with check, but I'm not going to be allowed to do that. Can't take things with check. There's a mate on d2. I'm not even up any material here. Wow. Master of accuracy. Finally loses on a mouse slip. He had f4 there. What a game. I mean, I think you're not even necessarily lost here. I mean, if you play f4, king f6 was probably a bad move by me. I mean, maybe I should just play e6 straight up. He tried to play queen e3, and instead it looks like played queen e2 by blunder. Man, I don't know. What's going on here? I'm winning apparently if I played e6, but king f6 was a stupid move. He has f4. He's totally okay after that. Really tough game. Okay, Tushar Kamde Nils. In other words, the subscribers, then I'll take the other challengers I can get in. Really, really tense game. Thank you for that game. Was worthwhile. Okay, Tushar. What are we going to play against Tushar? Knight c3? Yeah, f4 saves you. I saw that because it's the only thing you can do to open up some checks. But both of us were a little bit short of time. The 3-second increment, though, I think the secret is not to panic. It's hard to get used to it. Tushar playing the g6, huh? What's that? I think this is a weird line in the Linkspringer. There's a German, or I think it's a German book called the Linkspringer. And the h4 is an actual variation. Just for the Ponda, the Ponda crew, basically. Wow, your apartment has security with a maid. Is she hot? Did you say that? No, anyway. Sorry, guys. I lost my self-control. I've been a bachelor for a while now. So Ponda asked me and stuff. Anyway, I like h4. I just sound like the other Ponda. I'm actually a different Ponda, but we are related. Yes, you're both black and white and red all over. No. Okay, h4, h5. I don't know what to do. I guess we play this like a King's Indian attack sort of thing. He played h5, fine. g4, no. How about getting a knight to g5? I mean, this could transpose to a mainline type of Pirtz, where I play like mainline, never mind, mainline not, but a line of the type, of a type in the Pirtz, let's say. Trying to make heads or tails of what to do here. I'm just playing this on the fly, guys. It's unusual opening stream. I normally experiment with some weird kind of stuff. So that's what's happening here. All right, h4, h5, e4, knight h3, g3. Lots of candidate moves. I don't know what to do. Okay. All right, g3. What? He played b6. All right. That's kind of weird. That's a bit weird. Tushar getting into this weird opening thing. Getting a little bit over the top, it seems like. He's getting a little carried away. I like this. This is now it feels like a Pirtz Fianchetto variation where black's just played strangely. Well, I have played h4, not like the most flexible move in the world, admittedly. We got flexibility in castling. I don't know. Normally I'll castle kingside here. I guess he has bishop a6. e5. Ye old e5. Clearly, this was planned in advance. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger on bishop f1, my friend. I'll just manually castle over to g2. I'm not in a hurry to castle queenside in a modern Benoni-like thing. Knight g5 is looking pretty good. How are you going to get rid of me if I put my knight on g5? That's like the typical problem when you do the pawn stop with h4, h5 in this type of opening. Right, that's not happening. You're not playing knight g4. So like last game, I think we're just talking about a space advantage here. No, I mean, maybe I really have to consider castling queenside at this point. I think I'm going to go for it. I realize his rook is here and his bishop's here. But if I can just take and make a symmetrical pawn structure, I should be slightly better. This is not the most beautiful plan, but... Okay, maybe he missed the boat there. He has knight takes. I can't really take on d6 because I lose in exchange to knight c4. He should consider that. Okay, now bishop h3, or do we... Yeah, do we play bishop h3 or do we trade white square bishops? Good question. Is this just superfluous out here? Really interesting question. Bishop h3, what's he gonna play? Man, that's pretty awkward for black. Like f4, g4. Maybe g4. I can like literally attack him. I'm getting kind of caveman-like here. Wow. Problem is he can't take back with a knight. Or can he? Wow. He takes back with a knight. Dude. Kidding me. He won the last game? No. Tactically an unbelievable player, this guy. His queen is almost trapped there. What would Lev Albert do? Wow. So tempting, but man. I think I just have to bail out on this whole thing. I don't see bishop takes d7. Rook d8. Working. Hmm. He's got a huge time advantage. Outrageous time advantage. Alright. Let's go to endgame land. Endgame land is right next to zombie land. But this is defensible for black. I had a great advantage, but the time pressure just... He's unbelievably fast. He's now over 2,300. He's 2,300 in rapid, 2,100 in blitz, and 1,900 in bullet. Man, I mean, that's like the guy I played yesterday. He has like a huge difference in rapid versus blitz and blitz versus bullet. Funny thing is, the 2-star is very fast, so I don't really get it, you know. But I've said this a million times before. He just panics when he's in time pressure. That's why he plays fast. He's gaining 100 points each 6 months. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I didn't believe he could play knight takes h5. I mean, that's just extremely alert tactical play by black. Soon he'll be like 2,500 in rapid. Knight e6. Interesting. Okay, so what do we do here? Knight takes e6. He's going to play pawn takes e6. I mean, his structure is just really bad. But then again, I'll have problems too. Maybe that's not his intention, though. Maybe his intention is to take with a rook on e6. I'm not sure. We try to play with fundamentals. Whoa. Okay, another surprise move. I can't believe how fast he can play, and he's like 1,900 in bullet. He uses half the amount of time I need to play the same level game. Of course, he doesn't have to commentate, you know, that makes it hard. But another unexpected move, knight d4. It's a tense game, very close. What's the defining feature here? He's got a knight off sides, and my pieces are a tiny bit more active. My king might be a little closer in the endgame scenario. You lose mostly on time to opponent's cheap tricks and bullet. Mouse internet, not so good. Oh man, he made a very strange move now. With c5. That is surprising. So f5. He's given up the d5 square. But if I play f5, he has tricks based on knight to g3. Alright, let's just do knight d5. He's got a check. I think the check is a big deal. My rook is trapped. He's trying to trap my rook. I guess I could take him out. Bishop takes d4 at this point. Probably not a bad idea. That was really killing me. So now f5, no. Very strong pieces for me. But his position is like holistically solid. Whatever that means. There we go again. Getting my rook trapped. It's very strange. Down to 39 seconds to his 3 minutes. 6 plus 5. Weird time control. Visually, my pieces are active, but his position is very sound. I guess by taking on d4, I helped his structure quite a bit. I really like to play f5. My rook is not trapped. I have rook c6 available. It's also e5. And now that he doesn't have knight g3 there, it's getting weirder and weirder around here. I assume he's going to take. Wow. What a move. Oh, I just don't take on g6 here. And game technique improved a lot. Looks like it's probably a draw now. I'm very lucky to draw. I was probably lost. Escaping. I wouldn't say Tushar's strong point was his in-game technique, but it seems like he's improved. But not so much the technical stage of this endgame. I thought he played well the earlier stage, like the more complex part of the endgame. When we first entered the endgame, I thought was very well played by Black. Not the technical end. This is just a draw. So, yeah, but anyways, very tense game. Pretty well played by Black. I mean, he was the only one who was really seriously threatening to win. Let me see. I mean, I'm probably close to loss. I don't want to bog down the stream with this. We'll let it analyze the game, but I bog down the stream with the stockfish. Very good overall game by Black. I'm gonna play Nils and Morales next. All right. I mean, I guess it's not that easy to cut off my king. I think he was winning, you know, at some stage. Definitely. The Lucena position. All right, Nils, we're playing, what, e4 a little bit? Yeah. I mean, he had an excellent position. That pawn up. I don't even really sense the danger there. I mean, I thought I've got a better king than him going into that rook end game. And honestly, I didn't have the sense like, oh, well, maybe I'll be worse, you know, going forward. But suddenly, his central pawns were so strong that I was like paralyzed. Okay, let's try something kind of unusual here. Bishop c4, not a good setup. I was thinking to play a wing gambit. So we can play d4 or we can play a3 immediately. I don't know which one is better. Go with the classical. I don't know if it's good to have my knight on f3 so early or not. Close it up. It's basically a transposition to a wing gambit French, which I also don't play. But we're having fun. It's Wednesday. I play stuff I don't know, really. Mr. Coffee, good to have you. Just finished my coffee here in my Acerbate Las Vegas mug. Alright, a3 at some point. We definitely want to play. I've played this position with Black out of the Sicilian, so I know a little bit about what's going on here. I had a friend who used to play this line with White, and it was sometimes irritating to play against, I have to say. So he took on a3. That's something I normally wouldn't do, probably. I'm not sure if I should take with the bishop, take with the knight, or not take at all. I know one thing, that the c3 pawn is pivotal in securing the white center. But there have been very few games I've played over the years. Once I won with Black against the master Jared Bryan in a Black one of these. Maybe one of the only games I've ever had, actually, in a long game. It was e4 c5. Probably knight f3. e6 b4, maybe something like that. So now Nils is playing a6. It looks like he wants to play, like, either to stop knight b5 or even play b5 himself. It reminds me a little bit of like let's go for it, of a French advance. Obviously now he has two connected pass pawns on the queen side. Taking my life in my hands here, but that's the spirit of this opening, I guess. Maybe not, though. I mean, maybe I should really forget about that and just play c3, bishop d3, and like in the classical style here. Yeah, I think c4 is c4 is going another direction, which is probably asking a little too much from white's position, to be honest. We're asking a little bit too much here. It doesn't mean that it's not possible to get something going, but I think objectively this is not recommended. I should just do the standard c3. The knight can drop back to c2. We play for a kingside attack essentially, but now it's a different ball game. This is probably not the soundest thing in the world here. Okay, my pawn is indirectly defended on d4. I'm actually happy with the exchange of dark square bishops. I know from experience playing black that we don't really want to have that happen too early. You can see a knight can get in there to d6 and make his life a living hell. Wow, that's an awesome collects another coffee stampo. Dude, Arsenal fan, the red writing looks awesome. How did you do that? You look like you're like a moderator or something. So what do we do now? Securing d4. We just play like Michael Adams and sack another pawn. How many pawns can you take, my friend? Maintain your health. Decided to go full gambit style here. I didn't see a good way to protect the pawn that I really liked. No channel can tie you down. Mr. Coffee is green. Kind of puke green. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, subscribing. Thanks for everything. Knight h6. Yeah, there is a little problem with where to put that knight. I'm not really that excited to take it. But we might have to consider that. Alright. I'm going for the holistic king safety approach here. We're putting all of our money on king safety and the lack thereof for my opponent. And we're all in. If this is poker, then I'm all in. If it's blackjack, or I'm sorry, if it's roulette, I'm just letting it ride on king safety. And that's it. Forget about material, forget about anything else. I mean, development is good here too, but tomorrow's stream is at 4:30 p.m. EDT. I'm sorry to part with one of my bishops, but we've got to do something. Now his king side is unsafe. It's unsafe. We've got queen d2 simply. Ooh, that looks bishop g5 is coming. Okay. He has bishop g5. Bishop b1. Very subtle. The knight on f3 has literally nowhere to go. Queen e2. Developing move. Alright. Literally sacked everything here. It's a funny variation. Knight takes e4. Darn it. He takes it and he takes with... He can take on e4 now and he's tempoing me. Knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4. And I don't have queen e4. Bishop b4 looks strong for black in my opinion. Wait, what? Bishop where? You meant knight b4. You're talking about knight b4, right? He fell for my trap. Conned him into playing knight takes d4. So now I have queen e4. I don't think that he can defend. It was all a psychological trap. Now he has to play like knight f5, g4, and I win a piece. Fell for my cunning psychological gambit. Never ever believe what I say when I'm streaming, because we got to keep you guys honest, you know. We got to keep you guys honest. Queen B1 was lame. That lineup, where if my biggest threat is bishop takes h7, nah, I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, it's just lost for black. We swindled him. Just the depressed doggy look. Oh no, I hugged my d4 pawn. Alright, that was cheap. But never believe your opponent, right? Okay, Morales is up next. Morales is up next. I'm going to move the screen slightly to the left. What do we got for time, guys? Plenty of time. I tricked you. Yeah, you should have a longer delay so you don't have to hear what I'm saying. Alright, we're playing unusual openings, guys. Trying to play different stuff that I don't normally play. What are we going to do? Gov and Kurt, welcome everybody. StarCraft Gecko. That's what he gets if he was watching the stream. Can't cheat, guys. I'm going to tell lies here. I learned from my government. E4, G6. D4, Bishop G7. Alright. What can we do? We got the H4 didn't work out earlier against Tushar. The early H4 type of attack. A modern for me as white. Yeah, but I've got to play something unusual. We'll just play the Fool's Mate attack. Bishop C4. Oh, Arsenal just... Did you just predict that? That was too... You said that too quickly for it to be... You said that too quickly for you to be reading the moves, didn't you? Bishop C4 line. He said early Bishop C4 line. That's as early as I can do. I mean, it's kind of like against the Sicilian. I don't think this is really great, but it's playable. You know, you can play it. It's like a closed Sicilian with Bishop C4. Black can play C5, obviously, if he wants. I remember Dr. Kopek gave Alexander Ivanov fits sometimes by playing really, really weird, hokey stuff against his modern. Queen F3. Just primitive. Let's just be primitive. It doesn't get any more primitive than this. Obviously E6. He can still play a form of Sicilian if he wants to with C5. Right now it looks like B5 is coming next. So Arsenal recommended A4. I mean, you might be right. You know, maybe A4. Morales is out of... It seems like he's out of his element here. I mean, Queen F6 is more artificial than Queen F3. So I'm thinking... While I could exchange, you know, it seems like I should try to play for more almost. Although, let's say like Queen G3. Yeah, let's do it. The shifting sands of time. Your queen is misplaced, man. My queen is my queen misplaced? I'm not sure. Not as bad as yours. Don't want to play on... And I don't want to play these players like who are very good at their systems. Nefedov, Morales, in on their terms, in systems, in positions that they really excel in, let's say. Okay. Well, we're going to need to develop our pieces at some point. Knight C3. I think that Arsenal fans' suggestion of A4 is relevant yet. Though it's slow. You can also just play D4. Just play D4. It's like a really weird... It looks like it's the hippo. The happy hippo. Okay. Thing is, if I play knight c3, my knight's going to get kicked around, which I'm not super happy about. Although I have e5, possibly. Knight c3 and e5. Knight c3, b5, e5, pawn takes pawn, queen e7, and I don't like queen b4 check coming down. Let's castle. Another player has a big time advantage. What is your system? Well, you're not a system player, Arsenal fan. I mean, you play different stuff. You said yourself many times you don't really like openings, and you're not a fan of opening theory. You like, you don't like being a slave to opening theory. So I think I would say you're not a system player. You play the French defense. That's a kind of defensive system, but a really legitimate opening. This looks feasible for black, though. Not really sure what I should be doing. c3 seems kind of weak. At the same time, it nullifies that diagonal. I still like white. I just like white. I mean, we've got the center. We've got fluid development, maybe f4 at some point. Maybe. Looks logical. Actually, it looks very logical to play f4 and e5, like a Trompowsky. When Noak Trongson, who I faced many times in Budapest years ago when he was coming up, was, he's now number 2 in Vietnam. He was a guy who played the Trompowsky all the time, and this type of structure with like f4, bishop on d3, e5, just space advantage for white, oftentimes giving up the dark square bishop, just huge. Yeah, I agree, Arsenal. I like f4, e5. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think this is a really good Trompowsky-like setup. Morales is playing hippo, an extended hippo on the queen side, classical hippo on the king side. He's going to have problems, though. Like, where's he going to put his knight? He puts his knight here. His queen has squares. He puts his queen there. Knight has to go out to f6. Can be vulnerable, exposed to attack. Steinitz, there was like games from the late 1800s, early 1900s. Old players who played the modern defense, like Günzburg. Günzburg actually played the modern defense like over 100 years ago. It was funny to see how, if you look at those old games, how classical players reacted to, say, like the modern defense. Steinitz just tried to rip them open. I think f5 is justified here. Well, this is what Steinitz would do, probably. I was like knight f4 maybe in some moment. f5, f6. I hope I didn't jump the gun. Possibly I did. Try to sack a piece violently. It's asking a lot, though. Knight f6 is coming. He's going to shut me down. f6 sacking a pawn. Interesting. Guess I could go with h4. Ooh, that's kind of double-edged. Man, h4 is really asking for it. I feel like I jumped the gun. Really jumped the gun here. Maybe even a4 is interesting. Knight d2, bishop e4. And knight d2, he's playing knight f6. He's playing that 100% of the time, probably. I'm trying to decoy him. I'm not happy with the way I played it. f5 was premature. I upped the screw to that. Wasting time. Time is money. There's knight f4. He just plays knight f6. I was actually looking at sacking a piece with knight f4. Knight f6, knight e6. Pawn takes e6, pawn takes e6. With bishop g6 check in the offing. I don't think that works, though. So I just need to develop my pieces one way or another. I'm not worried about this a-pawn. That's fine. Black has his problems here. You know, he's okay, but he's not okay, you know. Maybe I sack a piece on g5 at some point. I don't know. Kids? I mean, if he castles, I can play h4 for reals. Or not. The problem is, like, he castles, I play h4. He plays, like, knight h5. Maybe I can just go queen h3 there. Actually looks okay. So can he safely castle kingside? Looks like he's trying to castle queenside. He stopped. He stopped my action. Alright, whatever. I mean, the question is, can he safely castle on either side here? Is his king ever going to be safe? Ultimately. Temporarily, yes. I think my position is sound, but f5 was premature. That was a bad idea. It was a little too hasty. Because it reduces all my flexibility on my options. I got a little excited. Alright. Guys, we're going to be streaming for, I think, about another half hour. Till like 2:15. Eventually I'll try to get back to 2.5 hour streams, but today I think 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to call it. So we're going to stream till 2:15 Eastern Time. We'll take the subscriber streams and subscriber challenges and whoever else is there. We're out of subscribers right now, which is rated challenges are out. Aman, if you want to play rated, it's got to be 5+3. Adip, it's got to be 5+3. Wow, crazy loud. Wind, yeah, that's a subtle move. Where is subtlety go? Well, either way he castles, I mean, there's going to be some questions about it. I just put my rook on a2. That's. I think luckily a2 is probably okay, but definitely wouldn't be my first choice. It would be funny if that ended up being like valuable, that I could double along the a6. I was just going to bring it back to a1 to be on the safe side. But I don't think he has a safe place. You know, a file is dangerous, and the h4 push is dangerous for black at the end of the day. So he has no safe haven. He castled queenside, so now it's all about trying to kill him on the queen side. I mean, b4 is going to be a good move, though it weakens my. It will weaken my other stuff. Okay, first things first. Let's connect the rooks. Wow, what's this about? He's going over there. All right. I'm glad I played that now. I think he's going to get it on the king side. Oh, that's the queen side. Whatever that is. Man, where's my time? Where's my time, kids? Where's my tactics? Rook takes a6. Maybe I sack in exchange. Just take with the rook. That'd be interesting. Queen e7. What's that about? I guess I just... Because bishop on g7 is not doing anything. Yeah, this is over. C5 is his last try. Eventually I can play. I'm up 2 pawns here. 3 and h4. No, you probably should have played bishop f4 check there. Nothing he can do here. Bishop takes g3. That's not going to save him. Alright, man. Another tough game, guys. We had lots of tough games. A man just keeps re-challenging me. I don't play 5+3 rated. You've got to challenge me to unrated. Or rather, casual. I'm going to play ABD. He's been waiting for a game. We probably have time for 2 more games, guys. So this one and one more for today. Good game, Morales. Tough fight. I'm going to play the birds opening. Tough for you. Pawn sack to win for white. Did I sack a pawn? Well, it was a pseudo sacrifice. I mean, I don't think that a4, if you're talking about that, I would really quantify as a pawn sacrifice. With those doubled isolateds, you're never getting it back. Like, I'm going to play this like a Nimzo. I like to do the Leningrad a lot, but I think I like this. Bishop on f5 is unusual. It's like a Bogo Indian, the bishop on f5. That's strange. I think this is a bad move. He should play knight to d7. Alright. Very unusual Nimzo with like bishop f4. And now he's letting me do the Nimzovich thing. Doubling the pawns, playing for structure. Play for e4. We try to keep the pawns fixed. I don't think a6 contributes a lot to black's position. And black's playing pretty quickly here. So now if he tries anything weird, yeah, I just like white's position is excellent at this point. Very bad structural problems for black and the bishop. He should probably play bishop g4 and trade it off. Actually, he can't, though. He can't just drop a pawn here. Now I have knight a4 getting weirder and weirder. Alright. I mean, I could probably have taken an f5 there. Black's structure is seriously problematic. Take c5, e5, and then knight back to b3. And then he's taking on f4. I mean, this is pretty good for white. Even h3 is good for white. Okay, let's just play it positionally. I'm not going to try to win the pawn here. It's a full Nimzovich strategy. Just fix the pawns, create weaknesses. It's like a Nimzo. Not going to be materialistic. It's probably a good move. again here, last time I played, what was it? F5 prematurely. I did it again. This is going to let him lock it up. I lost a game against ABD the first time we played. That was that Simul game. That was crazy. But F5 premature, I think. He's playing very fast. I don't like his decision. I think he should lock the position there in this particular situation. Though it's playable, what he did is playable. He has his ideas. Now I'm on C5, though. Danger here for black. A lot of danger. His king is still in the center. Mine is not. There's pressure along the F file. I have a very strong pawn on E4. His pawns are doubled. Better structure. Knight B2. Yeah, of course this will come into play. But I want to try to pressurize this. Maybe I don't need to retreat yet. I mean, maybe I can bring down more pressure on C5. But I don't like his decision. I mean, he could have made life very difficult if he just locks it entirely with E5. I mean, I could play C3. I could eventually open the position. True. You know, I probably have a large advantage, but it would have been a whole different game and a lot longer for me to. Would have taken a lot longer for me to make progress. Okay, knight takes C5, queen takes queen, rook takes queen. G6 doesn't work, so he's just down a pawn, I think, after knight takes C5. I'm not going to be greedy. We've got a nice endgame. We're up a pawn with a strategic advantage. And all of our pawns are on the right color. You can't ask for better than that. I mean, you have a dark square bishop, like literally all of your pawns are in a good structure on the right color opposite your bishop, so it's mobile. His pawns are fixed on like H6, G7, D4, all targets to my dark square bishop. In the meantime, he's got further weaknesses over here. They're almost like, the C pawn's almost like an Isolani. In the long run, black is lost here. Queen D6 did waste time. Talking about the last game. I'm an Arsenal fan. My F5 team seems to be my weakest today. Seems like I'm playing F5 impulsively. So E5, bishop takes C5, pawn takes. That looks pretty horrible for black. He could play G6, that also loses material. Bishop takes C5, pawn takes F6. I'm going to take on G7. It's a horrible situation. This is an absolutely horrible situation for black. Guys, we have time for one more game after this, I think, unless something super fast. So I will take... okay, I don't think this helps him, really. Just taking this way. Taking that pawn with tempo. We're up 2 pawns. And his king is still in the center, though. That necessarily isn't always the disadvantage in an endgame scenario. His king might end up being good. He just resigned. Alright, so we've got 20 minutes left. We might be able to sneak in 2 games. I'm going to play... Yeah, I'm going to play Pichu, and maybe we'll be able to sneak in one more game. Alright, Pichu's really strong. He's got a plus score against me in the last 9 games or so. But if we go to 10 games, the last 10, it would be even, right? That's impressive. And he's playing A4. This is a little bit silly. I mean, I think it's over the top to play really bad moves on the first move. But I had an interesting idea to play like knight F3, D5, what was it? Knight F3, D5, A4, C5, and E4 to try to play like a Budapest Gambit reversed. But A4 is not a good move. Okay. Thank you, Arsenal fan, for the compliment. You don't think F5 was bad? Yeah, okay. But which game are you talking about? I didn't follow the full context of your conversation. We had two questionable f5s, and I don't know, you're talking about f5 in your game or f5 in my last game? Not clear. Can I play c5 here? That might actually make the Benoni look good. So I'm going to play e6. Now, actually, the Queen's Indian is out, because I think a5 is going to be really strong. But this is just weird. Now, c5 with the Benoni, his thing might work. We can't play the Benko or Benoni. But a Bogo here looks totally okay. Queen's Gambit is also okay for black. c5, d5. Now he's playing a4 early in a Benoni. I don't think that's really a problem. You could play a crazy thing like some Mises, Snake Benoni. In the Snake Benoni, a4 may not be that useful. Alright, let's just go check. We'll play a Bogo, where a4 is definitely not a great move. He doesn't have a3, which is oftentimes useful. So Queen e7, a5, c5, those are our options. I mean, obviously you can play other moves, but like bishop e7, b4 is probably good for white, for example. All right, I'll play a5. I like a5 based Bogos, so maybe if you want to be a purist, Queen e7 might technically be the best move there. You get another Nimzovician type of game going on, where I think a4, ends up being kind of inflexible for white. It's absolutely a Nimzo. No longer a Bogo, but a Nimzo. I've got the b5 square to think about. That's not necessarily always good for me. So, but he doesn't have any Queen a4 check type of stuff. I don't want to castle too early. I feel like that's not necessarily always good. If he wants to try to attack me or be aggressive. e5 now. There's no rush to castle here. There's no threat to my king. I thought for his part he could also have delayed castling. A move a two. He's traded his strong point on d4. So c6. We can obviously do that at any point. If he plays bishop g5, he's going to have a very, very bad structure. Knight d5, bishop takes d2, followed by c6. So he went for this. Interesting. I could even play bishop e7 with like a pretty good old Indian. Black has weaknesses. The pin is going to be hard to get out of otherwise. So this might seem passive, but I think that white has weaknesses. Like the long-term weakness on d4. I don't mind this. A good old Indian, where black has weaknesses on the white has weaknesses on the queen side, particularly these squares. I can cover with c6. But I don't know. This just seems like a weird exchange. We just have a nice positional advantage here. d4 square. I just saw a really funny variation. He plays queen b3, knight c5, queen b6. Oh, that doesn't work. Never mind. Maybe you should have tried queen b3 there. Looks like white is positionally in some trouble. Maybe this move wasn't great. I could have played bishop c8 there. Another plan. Bishop c8 coming back here would practically force him to play h3, which would have drastically weakened his king side. No, he could play like queen e3, I guess. Okay, it's not so bad for white. Black is better, but how much better here? That's the question. We still have the ideas. We still have the ideas of attacking on the king side with like knight f4, bishop c8, c8. Guys, maximum more game after this. Very unusual. Pichu playing like a4. He's just trying to mess around, you know, playing something weird. That's a little too weird for my normal standards here. Black is better. His bishop is kind of pawn-like, and I've got a very good control of d4. Whether that's enough to win for black, you know, in itself, probably not. I have to create additional advantages. Go with like knight to d4. I don't know if I should exchange rooks. I mean, does it benefit me or harm me to have the rooks on the board? Which way should I recapture? It's like, I don't know. Very hard to call. Which recapture? Toward the center. Try to unleash the bishops of death, bishops of doom. He's got the weaknesses on the dark squares, but a very strong kind of blockade. I don't think that move really does a whole lot. Instead of bishop a6, what? Piling up on c4. I could force b3 probably ultimately, but you know, that in itself, I'm not sure, you know, is gonna like win the game or anything. I can pile up on a4 too. I really need to play, again, Principle of Two Weaknesses. Some ideas against his king. He's opened up his king to some degree. Like this bishop I can put on e6 and look both ways. Grishokian. Maybe f5 now? Just because I can. Wow, he fell for it. And he loses a piece. An uncharacteristic blunder, which Pichu's not used to playing in the the later hours. Alright, so we're going to hold on to that pawn. Winning position. His queen is kind of cut off, too. I mean, trading queens should be decisive there. Wow. Alright, that's getting weird. Definitely shouldn't have done that. What's he doing over there? Okay, that's weird. What did I do? The heck? I haven't won a game against him in like ages. Okay guys, that was a long one, so I've got to close it down. That'll be the last game for today. I'm sorry I've got to go. It's almost 2:15. Apologies to anybody I didn't get to play. We're going to be back tomorrow. It'll be 4:30 EDT with the next stream. It's going to be a subscriber stream, game analysis, so you guys can submit games to my account here, Sparkle Horse on lichess, in advance. So 4:30 EDT tomorrow's subscriber stream. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to the new times, and what can I say? From the replacement pandas, Macro Panda and Micro Panda. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, we're just, temporary pandas, but we'll do the best we can. Anyway, we'll see you guys later, and tomorrow it's going to be subscriber stream, so submit games, and you can count on me being here at 4:30 EDT tomorrow. Okay, Two Shark, I may not be on live, but I will see you later. Two Shark, submit a game. You're welcome. If you guys can't make the stream, feel free to submit the game anyway to my account on Sparkle Horse on lichess if you are a subscriber to the stream. I will see you guys. Thanks for the donations and for the support. I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Later, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Later, JCS. See you guys.